Hey everyone, UEBS 2 Hub here, and in this battle, we have 2 million of the standard zombies in UEBS 2 versus 1 million civilians, and I've done it where these are of course modded units, so these are not standards of the game, at least as of yet. These are pretty funky looking civilians, but okay, we have about 100,000 melee style civilians, and then behind them, 900,000 civilians with guns. Now, of course, guns are not modeled into these. I actually had to make them ranged myself, so they will be kicking in order to actually fire their guns. So that being said, let's get this battle started. They will have to traverse a little bit of a distance here, no man's land, if you will. And we'll be able to see exactly what happens from here. But it looks like the ranged civilians are starting to catch up with the melee. But the civilians, believe it or not, they are actually a touch stronger than the zombies. Now, unfortunately, even though they are, in theory, the same species, of course, zombies versus humans, the humans just die rather than get back up and live. So the reason why I added all of like this kind of front of civilian melee humans is because, of course, I modified these guys because, I mean, these guys go to the gym, they're tanky, they're healthy, whatever, right? These guys, however, have a little bit less health, and as such, they are throwing uppercuts. They don't know what they're doing. They're just firing bullets somehow out of their bodies, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. Now, they are getting a lot of kills on the zombies, but they also have a lot less health. And, yeah, they're not going to be a successful thing once the humans start dying. Now, again, these humans are not by any means invincible. They are just slightly stronger than the zombies, which is why we're starting to see their lines whittled down, which should happen, I would imagine, fairly soon, and you'll probably see it on the edges there of the battle. So let's go over. I did make sure that the civilians had a little bit longer of a line than the zombies, just that way they don't get flanked immediately. But the humans are obviously dying, these civilians, even though they are kung fu masters apparently, and they are doing quite decently. They are going to die sooner or later. We're starting to see them kind of go up to the front one by one and just kind of falling. Now let's move over here. One of the things I like to do is just kind of picture yourself. Oh, wow. So these, it looks like some of the stray bullets are getting far and damaging some of these zombies back here. Now, one of the things I really like doing is to kind of imagine yourself as a zombie, right? So let's just go pick Zombie Matilda here. And you're just running up. Of course, I mean, she's just breaking all the rules. She's smashing through the lines. And, like, you're seeing all these fireworks going over your zombie head. And then you're like, oh, shoot, that's a bunch of civilians. Free food. But the problem is that behind them, there are tons of armed, angry man civilians with guns. Although they are, again, admittedly weaker. They eat fast food all the time, and they don't really watch out for their health. They sit on their couches and watch soap operas. That's what these guys are. So that said, let's zoom out a touch. Maybe fast forward by about one. Ooh, you know what? Let's not. We are starting to see a break in the lines over here. And this might be where we start to see the failure. So we still have we only have 63,000 civilians dead. However, once we see an actual front being made here, that might be all that we need. Okay, they are starting to break through. I'm actually starting to kind of wonder, maybe these humans aren't going to... No, you know what? They have to. They have to. Yeah, they're starting to be hit, I think. Yeah, they are. But is the sheer volume of fire so great that they aren't going to die? I don't know. Because look how many, I mean, we have 2 times as many zombies, at least in theory, compared to the humans. Wow. Look at this. I mean, isn't that freaky? Like, really? That's freaky. They're just pouring over the line. I mean, I've never seen DayZ, but this is from the trailers. This is very similar to DayZ. Maybe I made these guys a little bit too powerful. I'm not sure. But, you know, in theory, even if zombies take a bit more damage than humans, which is how, you know, these guys have. They have more health than the humans, than the ranged humans. Even if they can take a little bit more range, or a little bit more damage, I mean, in theory, the humans are still at an advantage if they have guns. So I guess this might actually make some level of sense, especially if you have somehow unlimited ammunition. Your barrel doesn't overheat, you don't get jams. And, well, let's just say, I mean, under ideal circumstances, but the front line of humans is wearing thin. Oh, here we go. Let's see what's happening here. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now, they are still getting humans. But the more I try to rationalize this in my head, the more it kind of makes some level of sense. Okay. The humans actually might start breaking through and start killing the zombies from the flank. Something I did not imagine. But the more that I see this happening, the more it makes some level of sense. That obviously a lot of humans have died, but you have to think about it like this, right? If a zombie apocalypse happened, and let's say you had I don't know, 1 million armed humans, or in this instance, like 900,000, versus 2 million, I'm going to take the humans almost any day of the week. You know? So long as they have some ammo, like maybe a mag each, 2 mags each, I'm going to take the humans every day. Now, forget it when they have unlimited mags and, you know, and they make headshots pretty often. That's kind of what we're seeing here. So it looks like there's only around 250,000 zombies left. Kind of a surprise to me that this happened in the way it did, but pretty much all of the standard, like the melee humans have died. But now as we see it, the only melee humans I think that didn't die are these guys right here. This seems to be about it. Like, there's about 20,000 of them, give or take. Maybe 10,000, I don't know, like a few hundred or a few thousand in this block. And now the zombies are being surrounded, but we do still have a good amount of zombies over here. I wonder why. Perhaps it was the terrain, I'm not sure. But, like, look at this wall. This huge wall of dead, well, 3 dead zombies. Can you imagine that? You're just running up, having a good day. And then you get, like, you see your pile of friends. You see a bunch of Kool-Aid. Stop to drink some Kool-Aid beforehand, even if there is a little bit of sand in it. You see a pile of friends. You're like, huh, that's unusual. They're not sleeping. And then, like, you run up your pile of friends and you just get mowed down by magic humans, essentially. Pretty wild. So, this is crazy, though. I mean, like, look, I don't know if I've seen a wall of zombies this high before. It's just absolutely wild. But we only have around 35,000 zombies left. This is it. And they are being flanked. But I don't really know if the flank is going to matter so much. I mean, they are still killing humans. Bear that in mind. Okay, this flank is going to impact it more. But I didn't even give these guys all too much range, the humans. They've got like 40, 30 range? I think 30 range, maybe? So, and like 40 damage on a bullet, or maybe 30 damage on a bullet, which really isn't all too much. They really won out by mass. But it looks like, in terms of numbers, I mean, the zombies have obviously lost this, but in terms of numbers, the zombies basically killed as many humans as there were melee units. But when it comes to range units, they pretty much all survived. So the vast majority of the melee units died, which makes sense, even though they were tougher. But the range units survived. So, again, you know, you might say to yourself, well, UEBS 2 hub. Think about this, you know, well, zombies are really powerful. I'm a firm believer that in the real-life zombie apocalypse, barring some crazy logistical failure, maybe like the military somehow, I don't know, right? Like something happens, and these zombies are resistant to all natural forces like decomposition, bugs, for example, that would eat them. All these things, they're resistant or immune to them. You know, it would basically take a miracle for even still for the humans not to win. You know, I mean, it would, like, if they are your standard zombies, now if they mutated and had some crazy, like, hey, we're gonna spit on you from 100 feet away and you'll be infected, that's different. But if it's your standard, I'm gonna eat you zombie, then yeah, humans win pretty much every time. And as crude of a simulation as this is, it kind of proves it. So that being said, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of it. But either way, thanks again. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.